Outfitters and your Friday fishing report. I'm going to start off with a little announcement. We do have our striper tournament April 22nd and 23rd on the Colorado River here in Bullhead City. We will have two angler teams, a separate boat division where boater teams only fish against other boater teams, shore fishing division where you only fish against other shore fishing teams. Then also a separate kayak division, which is single angler, competing only against other kayakers or non-motorized vessels. You can sign up here at this website, or call us, or in person. Again, that's April 22nd and 23rd. Next, if you'd like to follow us on Instagram for daily updates of what we're doing with new baits, fish we're catching, where we're fishing, what's going on, you can follow us here. Okay, let's get going with the report of what little we can report on. Now last week we weren't able to put out a report, just the weather was not letting anyone out on the water, nothing to really report on, nobody was fishing. It just would have been a bunk report, so instead of just throwing something out there for the heck of it, we're just not going to report when there's nothing to report. However, the last day and a half we have been out on the water and things aren't very good, but there's some good signs of things to happen. We're going to start off up at Willow Beach, where they stock 1,500 rainbow trout, which is also going to kick in that striper bite. Best time to go is going to be at night from dusk until morning. There is a bright, almost full moon running right now, and if you want to catch some of them big stripers, you're going to have to get out there at night. Underneath that full moon, trout-colored swim baits are #1 go-to because of the trout stocking. Anywhere in that marina area, the trout were stocked at the launch ramp. So if you get outside of that, get outside of those docks, north and just south of them, you're going to get into those big stripers with the swim baits from shore, that same area. Rainbow trout, the bite's obviously good because it just stocked. Again, that is just your stock go-to baits, your rooster tail, power bait, however, chartreuse power bait seems to be the ticket. And night crawlers, those are what's going to, and castmasters are what's going to get you some of those trout. They did put some jumbo trout in that stocking. Now, moving on down to the Cottonwood area for the largemouth and smallmouth. Again, there is three bass tournaments going on Lake Mohave. So we did talk to several people at the ramp and out on the water. And so what we've come up with here, most guys that were catching, there's a lot of guys that caught some fish, and there's a lot of guys that caught no fish. The fish that were caught up out of Cottonwood, largemouth and smallmouth, were caught on orange crankbaits and finesse fishing, a variety of finesse. I can't tell you what it was, whether it was shaky head, Ned rig, drop shot, wacky rig worm, kind of a mix on everything. So you're just going to have to figure out what works, but those are the two items that we do know that some fish were being caught on, including from ourselves that were out there. Now, the water temp on Lake Mohave is cold. It is 52 degrees. It was 52 degrees whether we were in the back of a cove, out on the outside point, the main lake. It was basically 52 degrees wherever we went, so we couldn't play the temperature game and trying to locate fish. It was a very, very, very tough bite today. Again, some guys got them, some didn't. So out of the Princess Cove and Catherine's Landing area, most everything was caught finesse fishing and spinner baits in that area. Both largemouth and smallmouth. And the first fingers inside the coves, and then outside on the rises on the main lake, that's where those fish were being caught. Again, mixed reviews from anglers. Some were pissed. These are a lot of pros that are out here. So these reports are coming in from professional fishermen, professional bass anglers. A lot of them got skunked, and some of them did okay. that's the report I got. There was, groups of teams of 2 guys that, caught 4 or 5 fish, and there was teams of 2 guys that caught no fish. Some guys didn't even see a fish, some didn't even get a sniff, others had a lot of bites, a lot of misses, and then there was another group of guys, or a category of guys that got in that 3 to 5 fish range. So take that for what it is. Striper bite, non-existent. Talked to a few people out on the water today, and nothing. So that bite is dead on Lake Mohave. However, I did have a couple other friends. I saw their cars in the parking lot. Maybe I'll get a report from them later. They'll call me and tell me how they did, or send me a message. You know who you are, corn man. Moving south of Davis Dam in the Laughlin and Bullhead area. Did stock over 2,500 trout in the river this week. However, that bite is still real stingy. We had a couple of boats out in the guide service this morning. They did okay. The bite's about to pop. There are some big fish in the area because, again, they stocked the area with trout. The bite was still a little stingy, and I think just because it's post-front, we had all that bad weather, and then very next day, sunshine and that bright full moon last night, so it made things kind of tough. Again, I think that bite's going to be better at night on the river. However, I think with this good weather and the trout stockings that went on, tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, is going to be the best days. Trout colored swim baits, yellow swim baits, yellow jerk baits, pink jerk baits, and white jerk baits, and then secondary to that was the black and gold jerk baits have been what they're being caught on out there. Also being caught on the live black and salties and the golden shiners. A few shore fishermen were out there this morning with golden shiners and black and salties, and they had a little bit better success than we did as guides on our boats today. So hopefully this helps you out. If there's any drastic changes over the weekend or tomorrow or the next day, I will put another report out on Monday, because again, this report is based off a day and a half of fishing. And yesterday, you can probably call it a quarter day, because that's about the only window of decent weather that there was to get out there. Thank you all for subscribing and sharing this and liking this. We really appreciate the support, and we'll see you in a couple days.